Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back to Islamic Finance and Properties. मैंने आप लोगों से बात कर रहा था फर्स्ट टाइम बायर्स की. हमारे पास कुछ कॉल्स भी आए थे जिनके अंदर आसमा ने भी फ़ोन किया था, परवीन साहिबा ने भी फ़ोन किया था और शामिल साहब ने भी फ़ोन किया था. और बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग हम लोग फ़र्स्ट टाइम बायर्स की बात कर रहे थे. ऑल ऑफ देम आर फर्स्ट टाइम बायर्स. और जिस तरह मैंने आप लोगों को कहा है कि आप लोग अपना नंबर पीछे छोड़ देंगे, तो इंशाल्लाह ताला मैं कोशिश ज़रूर करूँगा कि मंडे को मैं आपको कांटेक्ट करूँ और आप लोगों से इंफॉर्मेशन लूँ और फिर उसके तहत आप लोगों को एक रास्ता बताऊँ कि व्हाट इज़ द बेस्ट वे टू बाय अ प्रॉपर्टी. आप लोगों से मैंने शो के अंदर शुरुआत में ये भी कहा था कि हमारे एक गेस्ट हैं जो हमें ज्वाइन करेंगे. उनका तारुफ मैं आपको कराता रहूँ. पहले उनसे मिल लेते हैं. उनका नाम है मुस्तफ़िज़ुर रहमान. ये एक फाइनेंशियल. थैंक यू वेरी मच मुस्तफ़िज़. आई नो कि बड़ा टाइम लग गया. ट्रैफिक शैफिक मेरे गले फंस गया.
Assalamualaikum Ali bhai. Yes, I couldn't believe it. Sunday, there's a huge traffic. Unbelievable. I think it's because of the wind and the rain.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This is the reason.
And I hope, thank you so much. You know, the first thing is that for you to actually come here, कोविड के ज़माने में और उसके अलावा ये जो हरिकेन है, स्टॉर्म यूनस. तो थैंक यू सो मच. आपने वो कहते हैं ना कि
Thank you for inviting me. I know about the Ikra TV and I have seen your show. Is one of the very popular show in terms of the properties and the mortgage. I have seen very few episodes YouTube as well. I think this show is also called.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm delighted to be here, to be honest
Well,
with
thank you,
you.
thank you, thank you. Achha, first of all, let me just get a little bit of a background about you.
Sure.
So you're obviously a financial consultant. You deal with mortgages. You deal with adverse. You deal with Islamic finance as well. I know that your company actually specifically deals with finance, Islamic finance as well. थोड़ा सा हम ना उस Islamic finance के बारे में बात करेंगे. और क्योंकि हम लोगों ने जब शो शुरू किया था तो I was encouraging first time buyers to come forward and ask any questions that they wanted to. तो वो भी हम लोग साथ साथ calls भी लेंगे.
Okay.
थोड़ा सा आप बताएं अपने background के बारे में.
Sure. Yeah. So as you have mentioned, a financial consultant. Yeah, I have been working in the regulatory environment more than 8 years now.
Okay.
So it's mainly property mortgages, insurance, commercial finance, bridging finance. These are the areas that myself and also have a team that are working in the, especially Asian community. We are very much known in the community. First, we have access to all lenders. I have to say that because we are independent. Especially if you're talking about the Islamic finance, I would say there are only few lenders in the UK who provide Sharia compliant finances for first-time buyer property investors.
What banks are there? Which ones are you specifically dealing with?
There are few. I don't know, do you want me to name them? Gatehouse Bank, Al Rayan Bank, EBL, and there are few I would say known to the people because there are some specialist Islamic lenders we have. Alibay, because there are only few lenders in the UK, I would suggest if someone is preparing to get a mortgage, Sharia compliant, either first time buyer or the buy-to-let properties, you need to prepare yourself well in advance because the criteria, the policies and the requirements that these banks have is slightly, I would say maybe in some areas it's slightly different than the normal one. So if you miss in the first time, I mean, you can't apply or you may not be able to go to Sharia one again. So you have to go to conventional one. Okay, so knowing the policies, knowing the criteria, preparing yourself for the application first time is going to get you well prepared and get the application successful. I would say if you get advice from independent financial advisor, they will be able to help you. And there are only few advisors, I would say, in the whole UK, especially in England, who are actually specialized on Sharia compliant finances.
And one of them is obviously yourself.
We are one
Absolutely.
of the, Alhamdulillah,
Absolutely.
we are one of the firm that we specialize on Sharia compliant finances one. And yeah, if I say something about that. There are few applications the Sharia compliant lender they don't accept. For example, right to buy, shared ownership, help to buy. So if anyone is interested to buy property under help to buy, unfortunately, Sharia compliant lender or Islamic finance they don't accept. If you are planning to go through the shared ownership scheme, or if any family who are on a right to buy scheme, if you want to buy property under the right to buy scheme, unfortunately, Sharia compliant lender is not at the moment lending on those areas. So
They don't even, sorry, just to
Yeah.
cut you short, I do. So they don't actually lend on ये जो right to buy है, जिस तरह हमारे जो दो calls आए थे,
Yeah.
एक शामिल साहब की और एक परवीन साहिबा की भी, कि they are looking to buy their property, which is
under right to buy scheme, yeah.
yes, the right to buy scheme.
Yeah.
Sharia compliant
No,
mortgages will not
no,
do that.
the lender
But
who-
conventional mortgages,
Yes,
we know, are definitely doing
Definitely,
something like
yeah.
that. Right, okay. Achha, I don't understand the logic behind that.
You know, the structure, the way it works, Sharia compliant one, they, at the moment, they're not ready to three-party arrangement. If you are buying property under the right to buy, government is involved here because, you know, the council, local council, they put a charge on the property for a certain period of time. You are buyer, so you're right, your name will be on the land registry. At the same time, the lender's name will be on the land registry. So there will be three parties on the land registry. If you buy property under help to buy scheme, again, government stake will be there, your stake will be there, and the lenders. So the way Sharia finances are designed at the moment, three parties involvement is not possible right now. So they don't entertain these
That's
schemes.
right. Because the contract on a Sharia compliant mortgage is slightly different from a
Conventional one.
I think the mechanism is very different as well, isn't
Yes,
it?
that's true.
I mean, because on a normal conventional mortgage, the risk is basically yours.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. With a Sharia compliant mortgage, the risk is then divided between the bank
And the borrower.
and the borrower. And the contract is usually made in the bank's name? Is that how it works?
Yes, so the banks lending the money, so basically they have the majority stake in the contracts, and government, and the way the lender do the conveyancing process on the land registry, they don't allow like other parties to get involved here. Like here in these schemes, government is involved, so it doesn't work right now.
Right, okay. Wow, that's actually quite interesting. So, Barhal, anyway, अगर आपके पास कोई inquiry हो Sharia compliant mortgages की भी, तो we have got the expert here, or he specializes in Sharia compliant mortgages, but we also specialize in conventional mortgages as well.
We do, yes, yeah.
अच्छा, अब आप मुझे ये बताएं कि the difference between a conventional mortgage and a Sharia compliant mortgage, what are we know what the fundamental reasons are, but just to take your take on it as well.
Okay. If I look at the whole process from a consumer point of view, or like as a borrower, they won't feel any difference, because if you're a first-time buyer, you will need to provide your income, financial commitments, other things, as you're going to apply to the traditional lenders. So for the residential property, it will depend on the income, or I would say affordability. Then the lenders will look at your deposit amount, they will do the credit check, they will look at the property's valuation, and if everything is stacked up, then they will issue offer. Once the offer will be issued, the solicitor will work for yourself and also for the lender, and after the conveyancing process, the property will be registered in your name on the land registry, and the bank's name will be also on the land registry, because they are lending money as well. So from the consumer
They come in as a charge, no? They
Yes.
put a charge on the property.
Yes, brother. So as a consumer point of view, or from a borrower point of view, you're not going to see any difference the way you submitted the application, the way lender do the assessment, and also the rate is also like fixed for a certain period of time. But as we're working with the lenders, we know internally the way they do calculation, the mechanism is slightly different. Ali, I can give you an example just to understand the whole scenario. In this country, an adult man and woman can live together. If they want to have a baby, it's possible after 9 months or 10 months of living together that they can have a baby. But if you want in Islamic way, okay, you can live together, but you have to go through the marriage, okay, so ijab and kabul and nikah process. Same thing, you can live together, 9, 10 months later you're gonna have a baby. So the whole process is the same. Okay, there will be man or woman. You have to have a certain period of time, and then you can have a baby. So yeah, so Islamic one, as I say, that is the way it mechanism works inside one is slightly different. And also, just to give you assurance that there is a Sharia board in the Islamic finances lenders committees. They look at the whole process, and obviously, because the scholars are there, ulamas are on the board, they know that it's actually compliant with the Sharia process. And the way they borrow the money from other institutions and the way they lend it is also follows the Islamic principles. Again, Islamic lender, they also lend on commercial properties, but they don't lend on where there is a gambling, where there is
Alcohol and so on and so forth. Of course, so it's a, I've always had that situation where rather than calling it Sharia compliant mortgages, I think, it should actually be ethical mortgages.
Ethical lending.
And that is what it is. Acha, I just want to ask you something else, okay? Now, is this Sharia compliant mortgages, is it just available to Muslims only, or can anybody apply for this?
No, it's in anyone. There's no restriction that it has to be to Muslims only. So anyone, any background, they can apply for Sharia compliant mortgages. In fact, actually, from my experience, I have seen, and we have also advised many borrowers who choose the Sharia one because of the features they have. For example, if you apply one of these Islamic mortgages one, normally there's no early repayment charges, so you can have the rate fixed for 2 years or 5 years. At any point of time, you can remortgage to a different lender. There's no penalty.
Achha, there's no redemption penalty?
No, there's no redemption penalty.
Achha, right. Is that for all Sharia compliant
All Sharia compliant products.
Right, okay. So you're not actually being
penalized for paying.
Penalized or, technically speaking, even blackmailed.
Yeah. So your rate is fixed for a certain period of time from the lenders they will give you. So if 2 years, if you take the rate for 2 years fixed or 5 years fixed, you can fix it. So regardless in the economy, rates goes up or down, you know that how much you're going to pay every month. And
Achha, what's the maximum period you can actually fix the rate? Not the rate, I suppose, it's because there's no such thing as interest there. But
yeah, we call it a rental rate. Yeah.
Yeah, rental rate. What's the maximum you can fix the rental rate
at
for?
the moment is 2 years and 5 years fixed rate. Yeah.
Okay, so Sharia compliant mortgages,
Yeah.
you can have a 2-year or a 5-year
fixed
rate policy.
Yeah.
And what we have seen, unfortunately, is that the interest rates are. Achha, if it's okay, we'll just take a quick call and then uske baad. Ji, Assalamu alaikum. हेलो
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
जी वालेकुम सलाम। जी कौन बोल रहे हैं?
जी मेरा नाम रफ़ीक है, लंदन से बोल रहा हूँ।
जी रफ़ीक भाई, हुक्म।
मेरा सवाल, बड़ी मेहरबानी, क्योंकि अभी ये इस्लामिक मॉर्गेज के भाई साहब आए हुए हैं।
जी जी जी।
तो मेरा एक छोटा सा सवाल है
जी जी
कि मैं नाम नहीं किसी का लूँगा, मैंने कहीं से सुना था किसी इस्लामिक स्कॉलर से कि अगर आप किसी नॉन इस्लामिक कंट्री में रह रहे हैं तो आपके पास अगर 70% कैपिटल है, ठीक, और आपने कोई चीज़ बाई करनी है तो आप जो 30% उनके कन्वेंशनल रूल्स के मुताबिक ले सकते हैं, ये अलाउड है?
मैं आपको बताता हूँ, हमारे पास ये एक्चुअली मैं आपको ज़रा इसको अपनी ओपिनियन भी दे देता हूँ और फिर हमारे गेस्ट से भी मैं आपको बताता हूँ। हमारे पास
इसके साथ एक कनेक्टेड सवाल भी है, लेकिन चलिए मैं सुन लेता हूँ।
अच्छा, पहले आप इसका आप सवाल ले लें। ये सिचुएशन ये है जी कि देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ फतवाज बिकॉज वेयर दुनिया जो है वो काफ़ी फतवे हैं कि जहाँ पर उन्होंने कुछ स्कॉलर्स ने, मुफ्तियों ने इजाज़त दी है कि आप एक मॉर्गेज अपने घर बनाने के लिए لے سکتے ہیں. دیر آر لاٹس آف فتواز لائک دیٹ. اور بلکہ یہاں پر ہمارے شو کے اوپر ایک اسکالر آئے بھی تھے, فیصل منجو صاحب, انہوں نے بھی اسی بات کو ریٹریٹ کیا تھا کہ ڈپینڈنگ آن وچ مفتی یو فالو there are fatwas out there. کیونکہ اس کے اندر ایک اور آرگیومنٹ بھی آ گئی تھی کہ آیا کہ جو انشورنس ہے وہ بھی حرام ہے, ٹھیک ہے, اور اگر انشورنس حرام ہے اور کچھ مفتیوں نے یہ بھی کہا ہے کہ ول اوکے حرام ہے یا حلال ہے, کچھ نے کہا کہ اٹس اوکے بٹ بٹ دین سو از کار انشورنس, جو کہ مینڈیٹری, اگر آپ گاڑی چلاتے ہیں اس ملک کے اندر تو ایک مینڈیٹری آپ کو وہ کار انشورنس لینی پڑتی ہے. تو with the times there are some muftis, there are some scholars who have said کہ one mortgage is okay. تو یہ تو ہو گیا, لیکن میں یہ آپ کو ان کی opinion بتا رہا ہوں, یہ میری opinion نہیں ہے, I am not a mufti.
یہ مجھے پتہ ہے اس کے اگینسٹ بھی ہے, فارغ آرگومنٹ ہے,
بٹ وہ وہی والی بات آ گئی نا کہ رفیق صاحب کہ which mufti you follow, you can't pick and choose. آپ نے اگر کسی مفتی کو سننا ہے تو وہ then you have to listen to the whole. یہ نہیں آپ کر سکتے کہ جس طرح یہ فیصل منجو صاحب نے بھی کہا تھا کہ یہ والی بات یہاں سے پسند آ گئی تو یہ والی ان سے لے لیتے ہیں, یہ والی ان سے لے لیتے ہیں. یو ہیو ٹو بی کوائٹ اسٹریٹیجک ان دیٹ سینس کہ آپ بھی ایک ہی مفتی کو پھر فالو کریں گے اور جو وہ کہیں گے وہ کہیں گے. آپ اس کے اوپر ذرا اپنی اوپینین بھی دے دیں.
Okay, thank you, brother, for your question. Ali bhai, this is not the first time I understand he's speaking in Urdu, but the question is about how come it is Islamic. Is it something he's asking, isn't it?
So the question is that taking a conventional mortgage, is that one conventional mortgage, is that deemed to be, is there
acceptable, halal or
acceptable or not?
Okay. I think at first, when I did the introduction of myself, I told that I'm a financial consultant advisor. I'm not mufti or not.
Yeah, but to your
scholars.
knowledge, I mean, that's what I said as well.
You have also mentioned that we are not mufti or we are not scholars. I have faced these questions many times, Ali bhai. This is one of the channel, and I have also appeared in other mortgage and property shows as well. First, I have to say, brother, we are not scholars, and if you want to dig further, there are other options available. We are actually discussing here what are the options we have in terms of Islamic lending in the UK. So if anyone have interest or want to know more about these things, we can discuss this in details. Now, whether it's acceptable or not, whether it's halal or the way it works, was it really halal or not, I would suggest if you speak to any ulama or scholars, they will be able to give you the details of answer with the reference of the Quran and Sunnah. And as also mentioned that all these Islamic lenders, they have a committee which consists of the ulama or Islamic scholars. So if we trust them, we can accept the
whatever their judgment is.
Yeah.
Achha, Rafiq bhai, what's your next question?
جان بھائی, میرا جو سوال تھا نا, وہ اس پہ تو کوئی ڈسپیوٹ ہے ہی نہیں کہ وہ کوئی کہتے ہیں لے لو, کچھ کہتے ہیں لے لو. لیکن یہ جو نئی چیز میں نے سنی تھی کہ بھائی اگر آپ کے پاس 70% 70,000 ہے اور 30,000 آپ کو چاہیے تو آپ کنونشنل لے لیں, آپ کو اجازت ہے, آپ اس کنٹری میں رہ رہے ہیں, نان اسلامک, آپ کو آپریٹ کر سکتے ہیں.
جی میں نے وہ اسی کا آپ کو جواب دیا تھا کہ دیر آر سم فتوے ہیں اس کے اندر. اگر اف اٹس جسٹ, اگر آپ یہ ایک ہی پراپرٹی لینا چاہ رہے ہیں اس کے اندر,
ہاں
تو دین کچھ یہ مفتیوں کے مسئلہ ہے, لیکن کچھ مفتیوں نے اس کے اوپر فتویٰ دیا ہوا کہ یس اٹ از الاؤڈ فار ون مورگیج. اچھا, آگے آپ کا سوال کیا ہے؟
آگے میرا سوال یہ تھا, میرا سوال ہے کہ اگر ہم کونسل کے فلیٹ میں ہیں یا کونسل کے گھر میں ہیں اور وہ تو 70% ویسے ہی آف ہو جاتا ہے, اس کا مطلب یہ ہے کہ سیدھی جا کے کنونشنل 30% لے لو, بات ختم, کوئی فکر کرنے کی ضرورت ہی نہیں.
ایبسلیوٹلی.
میں یہ فردر ایکسٹینشن میں یہ کر رہا تھا.
جی بالکل. آپ کا کتنا عرصہ ہو گیا رفیق صاحب آپ اس فلیٹ میں؟
مجھے ہو گیا اباؤٹ 15 ایئرس.
آپ کا تو فل ڈسکاؤنٹ بنتا ہے.
وہ میں نے ویلیویشن کروائی ہے.
اچھا, ویلیویشن آپ نے کروائی ہوئی ہے. کتنے کی ویلیویشن آئی تھی؟
وہ آئی تھی 265 کی.
ٹھیک ہے. آپ رفیق بھائی ایک فیور کریں,
جی
آپ اپنا نمبر پیچھے چھوڑ دیں. I'll talk to you more in detail in terms of what you can do and what you can't do.
ٹھیک ہے بھائی,
ٹھیک ہے. تھینک یو سو مچ. تھینک یو. جی ہمارے پاس ٹائم بہت کم رہ گیا, آخری 1 منٹ رہ گیا.
Okay, Ali bhai, for this brother, what I suggest is because he cannot take directly Islamic mortgage right now, he can take the conventional one, and I think after 5 years later, he's not going to be any more attached with the government one.
That's right.
He can remortgage to the Islamic one afterwards. So this is one way you can buy the property, and obviously Allah can see that his niyat, his intention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Because there's no opportunity at the moment Islamic. So after 5 years, you can remortgage to.
And this is the beautiful thing about our program, that we always provide a solution for every problem.
Thank you.
लो जी, अब हमारे पास मुस्तफी, like literally the time has just flown by.
Yes.
सबसे पहले तो मैं अपने नाज़रीन का शुक्रिया करूँगा कि आप लोगों ने कॉल इन किया, और जिन जिन लोगों ने अपना टेलीफोन नंबर पीछे छोड़ा है, I will definitely give you a call tomorrow इंशाल्लाह ताला. आपसे मैं फिर मोर एक्सटेंसिवली बात भी करूँगा, और कोशिश ये करेंगे कि एक सोल्यूशन निकालें आपके साथ ही, और इंशाल्लाह ताला मंडे को ही निकालेंगे. रफ़ीक भाई, आप भी अपना नंबर छोड़ देना, इंशाल्लाह ताला आपको भी फ़ोन करूँगा. मुस्तफ़ी, थैंक यू सो मच कि आप आए हैं, और आई एम सो सॉरी कि यू गॉट स्टक इन दिस wretched ट्रैफिक बिकॉज ऑफ स्टॉर्म. आप मतलब आप तो कहते हैं ना कि वो स्टॉर्म के अंदर से आए हैं लिटरली. तो so nice of you to do that.
Thank you very much for having me in the show, and inshallah I'll always available for you whenever next time you can.
नहीं, अब मैं आपसे एक कमिटमेंट करके जाऊंगा कि नेक्स्ट टाइम वी नीड टू डू अ फुल आवर शो, ताकि आप आराम से बैठ के सारों को एक्सप्लेन भी कर सकें कि एग्जैक्टली आया कि हम लोग कर क्या रहे हैं और हाउ वी कैन एक्चुअली मैनेज दिस. नाज़रीन, हमारे शो का वक्त अब ख़त्म हो गया. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका देखने का, और इंशाल्लाह ताला अगले हफ्ते मैं एक और गेस्ट के साथ आपके पास हाज़िर होऊंगा, और कोशिश करेंगे आपकी जो भी फाइनेंशियल या लीगल इंक्वायरीज़ हैं उनको हम लोग आंसर करते रहें. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका. अगले हफ्ते तक हमारी तरफ से अलविदा.